ASilentVoice had the emotional impact on me that leaves me scarred and swooned at what I just saw. A psychological look into young people's interactions and interpersonal relationships with some of the worst starting points, but builds into something a bit unexpected. A study into personality types breakdown of communication. A movie that is not shy at all with its themes of bullying, social anxiety, isolation, redemption, and suicide. It is a personal favorite of mine, best anime movie of 2016. Yes, better than Your Name, and Your Name is great, don't get me wrong. It begins strongly right out of the gate with our main character Showa ripping off his calendar after April 15th, quitting his job, selling his stuff, cashing out, and leaving all of his money to his mom in an envelope marked, "Here's the money that I owe you," as he walks to the bridge, and then getting up on the rails in an excellent montage. We then flash back to elementary school with another montage of fun times with Shoya and his friends, where the new transfer student shows up in Shoko Nakashimi. She asks the class to communicate with her notebook conversations because she cannot hear. This leads Showa and others to bully Shoko for not fitting in. The bullying goes too far, forcing Shoko to transfer out. The editing is amazing, showing some fun times and sharply cutting to Showa in the water. We are then showed what happened earlier in the day that leads to the incident. Showa gets all the blame and the bully becomes the bullied in more excellent montages. How the film uses a simple technique like a fade cut from a character sitting in a chair to not sitting in a chair gets me ooh each time. We cut back to modern day with Showa for the rest of the movie. Him having no friends but trying to reconnect with Shoka and asking for forgiveness. Can he forgive himself as well? Will he have friends again? Can he be happy? Each one of the major characters of the ensemble, consisting of new characters and characters from elementary school, have their own personalities, their own ways of dealing with conflict, and their own perception of events. Seeing each character's own defense mechanism is fascinating and gripping. I agree with Giga, even though large battles are equally epic scenes with depth and activity, and being so dense with action is a spectacle to behold in animation. Some of the best that animation can offer can sometimes be as simple as a tiny inflection in the characters' faces, or how the characters' look changes once they realize something. This film also demonstrates how you can do such quick cuts in animation as well. All the technical stuff is done really well by Kyoto Animations, with director Naoko Yadama bringing the script to life by Riko Yoshida, the writer, director, and studio that brought us K-On! I enjoyed K-On!, but it's kind of surprising how well they pull off drama. The character designs was familiar to me. I like the character designs. I get floored every time I see Shoko writes, "I am sorry," or other moments like when one character said to another, "I don't hate you, I hate myself." And the interesting reaction to that is something I go, ooh. I personally felt rewarded by paying attention to the film with film analysis in mind. It is called ASilentVoice for a reason. It knows full well and proves it time and time again to show not tell. The film has excellent use of quiet moments with accompaniment of subtle, soft piano playing. I love how the movie primes its audiences with tiny touches, some of which I wouldn't have seen until the second time through. It's one of those movies you notice new things with further viewing. I also love how the emotion played out in a haunting dream sequence one character has that telegraphs the events that will happen in the next scene. There's a bit of comparison to Your Name in terms of emotional impact. While Your Name puts its audience on an emotional roller coaster in the last act, ASilentVoice has one of its own but compacted in just one sequence. But still feels like a visceral hammer to the heart. I can't help but say, no, don't do it, oh no, and I get tears every time. There's more than one moment like that where I tear up. The movie is an adaptation of the manga by the same name by Yoshitaka Omi. Some say that the manga is better than the movie. It could be because their first experience with the property is the manga or they prefer manga over anime. Even though there's more of the story in the manga than the movie, each of the characters gets their own chapter exploring their backstory. For me, I prefer the movie over the manga, which is my first experience with the story. Both are good though. I felt the movie has a better start and ended a bit better. It condenses the story and uses montages to get through some of the early chapters. It is a really good adaptation. It doesn't include everything, but the core and heart of the story are there and is well delivered. I love this movie. I really love this movie. I wish everyone could see it. I wanted to show it to everyone in my family. Could be the fact that it had a very limited theatrical run in the US via 11 Arts that I rated quite highly. I felt just lucky enough to be able to see it. It is still not out on DVD in the US, and 11 Arts is aware of the demand. The scarcity of it could be making me value the movie more. This is one of those films that comes along and reminds me why I love animated movies. I hope I am not overhyping the movie by saying it's one of my favorite movies in the last 5 years, animated or otherwise. I would hate for people to think that this is the greatest movie that there is and be disappointed by the time they see it, because I thought it'd be a lot better than it is. After all, I said this movie is better than Makoto Shinkai's Your Name, and I stand by that statement. And I'm not the only one. @KC_Explosions on Twitter also loves SomeRandomVoice. Also says it is better than Your Name as well. Believe me and her, it is really close. Please go and see it any chance you get. As of right now in the US, 11 Arts is bringing back ASilentVoice for a 2-day theatrical special event through Fandom Events on the 28th for the subtitled version and 31st for the dubbed version. I hope a lot of people go and see ASilentVoice, even if it's just everyone that got a chance to see it before. If you want a good cry, ASilentVoice is a really good cry. I highly recommend it.